right, Wolf Bear Records is here with Kenaniah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing beautifully. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, not a problem. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh well, I've been well. First off, let me start off by saying I am a R&B singer. I would say a new wave R&B singer, and by new wave I mean PB R&B. Have a mixture of what people normally call trap soul, but hard beat, hard rhetoric. Um, I've been singing since the age of 3. So I actually have been singing for about 25 years now. I've been singing a quarter of a century. Wow. Yeah, I've been singing for a quarter of a century. And plays as well. I actually started singing in the church. My grandmother, used to see me on every Sunday. I grew up in the South. I'm from Tampa, Florida originally. And she'd be like, "Boy, get up there and go sing." I'm like, "No, I don't want to." She's like, "You better go up there and sing." Like, so ever since then, I've been a singer. So
now where do you're in LA, right?
yeah, I'm in LA now. Now I'm in the heart of downtown LA, DTLA. I got here by actually I used to live in New York. I ended up getting here because at the time my wife she had a job with a celebrity. I can't disclose names because of her. But she was working for a celebrity and it got us out here. And what I was doing, and it's funny because I was actually working on my album. This album I'm actually about to put out. It's actually going to come out in January because it's already done. It's funny because I put it back for about 7 years. So because I end up I started working on it. I end up going to Europe first. I was singing opera music in Europe back in like 2014, 15, and that's when I discovered I really want to be a soul singer. But there was no soul music out there. And then around this time, thing is Bryson Taylor just came out or whatever, and so I was like, okay, that's cool. And then the Weekend came out. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, so there's an avenue, like there's a way. So I was like, so I shouldn't give up. So seeing that there's success in that, I kept at it. So while I was over in Europe, I was in London at the time, and while I was in London, I started singing out and doing live shows and everything like that. I mean, I did it back in the States while I was in college and everything, but this time it was a little different. You know what I mean? This time I really made it and started honing my craft and doing my career made me realize I wanted to make a record label. Then it got me to traveling, met with the right people, got me to New York. After I got to New York, I ended up doing the same thing I was doing in Europe, traveling up and down the East Coast, just doing live shows after live shows. And then me and my friend, we used to play football together. We started a group called Inglorious Bastards. And his name is Prince Tay, by the way. Go check him out on Spotify. He actually a really cool guy. He It's funny. He has like this mixture of like Nas and like himself. It's nice. It's nice. And he's from DC, from the DMV. So like it's interesting. It's really interesting. His name's Prince Tay. And like we got together and we started hitting things and we started doing songs like Cathedral. Cathedral is really nice. It was, "This is my cathedral, and this is all my sanctuary, and where there's no one could be, and this is my hiding place." Like, we it was a really good song. Like, you know what I mean? Because it made us realize that there's no music like the Roots no more. There's no more like hard beat, hard message. You know what I mean? You don't really, like, I see successors to Biggie, I see successors to Pac, but I even see some successors to Nas, but I don't see any successors to someone like Black Thought. I don't see any successors to someone like Maxwell. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's I just feel like there's a lot of holes in the game. You know what I mean? And I feel like they need to be filled. So
That's awesome. Do you buy your beats or you make them yourself?
Oh, that's an interesting question. So I would say I buy skeletons. And so if the answer is just point blank clear, yes, I buy my beat, but I buy skeletons. Because every beat could be improved on. You know, no shade thrown to any producer or anything, but any beat could be improved on. So what I usually do, and it's just because I'm a big fan of big band music. I'm a big fan of jazz, like, you know what I mean? I always have been. So what I usually do is like add a harp, add a piano, add a cello, add a clarinet, like, you know what I mean? I may add the what's that thing? I may add the triangle, like, you know what I mean? And it's just I don't know, I just grew up on 1930s movies, you know what I mean? Like, and if it like there's just a certain level of like grandiose that needs to be there, and then sometimes I don't hear it, and like I try to add it into my music. You know, I try to make it picture worthy, if you will. Like, you know, I don't want you just to hear my music. I want you to envision it. I want you to hear the music, and then you watch the music video, right, and then you'd be like, "That's what I thought. That's what I was thinking." Like, you know, like that's always my goal. Like, you know, I always feel like Nirvana did that very well. I feel like, you know, like Team Spirit sounds and looks like Team Spirit. You know what I mean? Like, same thing with even Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. It looks and sounds like that.
Right.
Like, you know, you can't imagine anything else. Like, you know what I mean? It's a complete package. You know, even with and I'm saying this because I actually just saw this recently, and I forgot how like ahead of his time. Like, a lot of people don't realize this, and his name's not said enough. That Elton John was ahead of his time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know, on another level. I mean, even with the music videos, like, because his music, if you went back and you see some of Elton John's music videos from the 80s, it still holds up. Like, I was actually speechless. Like, you know, it was funny being born in the 90s. You hear anything about 80s, you're like, whatever, it ain't, you know, whatever. Like, it ain't the 90s. It's just
1980s music was phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it was. 1980s music. I didn't realize. I didn't realize until I would say about 23. I didn't realize how much, because I was really stuck on like 70s and the 60s and the 50s. I was really impressed. I mean, I gotta be honest. Motown really did it for me. I was like, yo, I'm impressed. I didn't realize you could have 12 different artists and 12 different platinum plaques. I didn't think it was possible. Like, you know, like, but you know, Motown, like, you know, Motown shows you that like music could, you know, change borders. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they say disco helped the reason the Berlin Wall came down. Like, you know what I mean? Just because the way that music brought people together. Like, so whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, politics are politics, but music brings us together.
So do you have an album out?
No, not right now. I have my SoundCloud out, which is actually the raws of everything that's going to be on my album. My album is about to come out, and my Spotify is about to be loaded up, actually, either by the end of this week or at the beginning of next week. So, you know what I mean? I'm on the road to it. You know, I didn't let nothing derail me. You know what I mean? Before COVID, I was just a live singer. You know what I mean? I just did everything live, and then and I always felt like I didn't have enough time to be a recording artist. So I really just cut the shit and just got down to it. Yeah. And now my music's about to come out. My music video is going to be shooting on the 27th. Like, you know, just really doing whatever I can just to make it happen.
So COVID's affecting you?
Yeah, really interesting, because my grandmother raised me. You know, my mom did her best, but the fact is my grandma raised me. And It's funny because for the first time, and my grandma's like 89. I couldn't give her a hug. I never experienced that. That really that was really tough. And staying constantly 6 feet away from her, that was really really tough. I didn't realize. You hear these laws and these what this word I'm looking for, guidelines, health guidelines, and we follow them, but we don't really feel the true impact of what it's doing until it's with someone you really care about.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was funny. I was talking to my friends about this, and I was like, COVID big like AIDS was in the '80s. I'm like, it's just as big. I'm like, like media wise, sensation wise, like, I'm like, it's just as big. I'm like, ain't nothing new under the sun. I'm like, it's the same. I'm like, and that's what we're going through in our generation. Like,
Well, we didn't have to wear masks back then, though.
exactly. Yes. It used to be the Jimmy hat. That was the mask back then. Like, that was the mask back then. Like, went from Jimmy hats to masks. Like, it was funny. I was even saying, I'm like, watch, it's even going to be in our culture. Like, masks are going to be such a thing that she like you so much, she's just going to be like, hey, and she's like, oh, Nick, what? Yo, she pulled down her mask. Did she pull down her mask at me? Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, it's funny.
I hate wearing a mask.
It's probably one of the most it's really. I was running the other day, like I did a 3-mile run and I had the mask on and I was just like, I feel sick. I'm like, I gotta be real. I feel, and it's not from being lazy. Like, I feel like I can't breathe. I feel like I didn't breathe. Like, and then I end up reading and they're like, oh, well, you shouldn't exercise with the mask on. They're like, because you'll like take back in what you put out. I forgot, was it CO2, carbon dioxide?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like you're just taking it all back in. And I was like, damn. I was like, okay. I was like, all right. I was like, because that's the thing. Like that's something. If you're gonna tell people to wear masks, like at least talk to us about that. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't mind. Like, let me state that right now. I can't endorse not following guidelines, but like, just talk to us. Just talk to people. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like, it's not a Moses and the Hebrews kind of situation where you just throw a law at us. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you kind of need, like, you're talking about implementing something new into society and you don't want to have a discussion fully about it. You're going to have that discussion. Like, and I feel like that's what we're dealing with right now is people longing to wanting to be safe and be whatever they could be, but at the same time be human. And I don't think they realize you can't be both. Like, it's literally saying you have to be sterile. Like, to be sterile is not to be human. Like, it's literally is the opposite. Like, literally. Like,
So, thanks to COVID, you can actually get an album done now.
Yeah, on another level, I gotta thank Uncle Sam for that stimulus. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, for real. Like, just the simple fact I had to worry about the bills and just, I'd be like, oh, whoop, just take it all. And I just put my energy and my effort. Yeah, like I want to say, yeah, COVID was the biggest, craziest blessing think that happened to the world. Like, it's so strange to say that, but a lot of people really changed the way they live. A lot of people show you who they were in COVID. COVID revealed a lot about a lot of people. If there's anything that anybody could agree on, is that 2020 made your vision clear on who people really are in your life. Like, it's like, because it was something else. I mean, it was, I mean, it's something else. Like, I literally, so just to be upfront and everything, like, I literally used all my check just to take care of myself, and then I literally just used all my time in meditation, working out, and doing my music. I mean, like it got to the point where I had to remind myself, yo, eat. Like, like get up, go to the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like cause I really wanted it. Like, you know what I mean? I really wanted it. I got tired of it because it was just sitting there for 7 years. I mean, I literally looked at my phone one day because you know how, the cloud is like, the almighty cloud. Like, shit has everything forever. Like, and so I looked at my notes and I just realized, I'm like, wow, I have like 150 songs just sitting here. I'm like, it's just sitting here. I'm like, and it's up to me to get it done. I was like, it's up to me to get it done. So like, even right now, I'm in a race against time. That's why I was actually doing, like, remember I was actually, before we came on here, I was saying to you that I actually went to a job earlier today. I have to do that like, even after this, I got to go to another job. Like, and then the reason why is because I have to, I'm bankrolling my own music video. Bankroll, we're talking about $1,500. Like, I mean, $500, sorry. $1,500, my high ass. Like, and, yeah. Like, yeah, like it's doable. It's possible for one person to make $850 a week. So it's possible. I'll be cutting it by the skin of my teeth. but it's possible. It's possible. Yeah. So that's
So you're
what
gonna get the video done?
Yeah, well, it's just because I wanted to be on a certain level. Like, I thinking of, I have a friend who's a DP. He has an amazing camera. I mean, to call it amazing is an understatement. Like, where it literally looks like what your human eye looks like. That's how good the camera is. And I was like, I would never forget seeing it. I was like, yo, I don't even have 2020, but I got 2020. Like, that's, oh my goodness. Every time I see that camera, I'm like, I gotta make them. It's just so inspiring. So like, and then on top of that, there's this guy I work with that I used to work with before COVID happened, named Humberto, and he's a rapper, and he's a Latino rapper, and it's funny because he bankrolled all his own stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he was like Humberto the janitor, COVID rapping. You know what I mean? I'm like, see, I'm like, all it takes is where you putting your energy at. I'm like, ain't nothing hard. What you doing with your life? What you doing with your time? Like, you have to really sit down. You have to ask yourself those things. Like, and yeah, like, just put the work in. I mean, like, and it's not easy because you even have your own family tell you you're stupid. Not even tell you you're wrong. Okay. Not even tell you that, like, okay, maybe you just need to see. No, you're dumb. Like, they're like, you don't come from no rich family. They're like, you don't come from no rich family. Like, and I'm Jamaican too. So you don't come from no rich family. You talking about music? Like, and it's funny. I'm like, but y'all be singing in the church all the time. I'm like, but y'all sing all the time. I'm like, Grandma used to be a jazz singer. So what you talking about? Like, so it's like, it's funny because people want to live through you, and I realize this. I realize this even in marriage. I realize this in actually, like, being in college, starting up my own record label, having it taken away. Like, I realize is that people will literally have you play a role in their fantasy. You won't even realize it. You won't even realize it. And don't worry, it's in the album. Like, I made sure to put that in the album. Like so, like, yeah, you won't even realize it. Like, you really, there's a lot of times, like, and it's funny because, like, you really going to have to for me to get this done, I had to become Thanos. If you ask me what it cost me everything. You know what I mean? I mean, it cost me myself. I literally, to get this album done, I died. I had to die. Like, the old man had to die. There was no way, and I'm telling you and the world, there was no way possible that was going to get done if I stayed being the old self. No way. I had to let it go. I had to change my relationship with food.
Oh, well,
I had to, I had to change my relationship with time. Like, you know what I mean? I had to really, I had to change my relationship with myself. Like, and a lot of people, that's the thing. A lot of people see music and they see, what's the word I'm looking for? They see the polish. They see the final product. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really like Gucci Mane said, like, he's like, they may see me on the boat right now, but they could never go through what I went through to get here. Like, like, and it really humbles you. You know what I mean? It really humbles you. It you don't, because then it made me realize the more humble I get, the more my income actually grows. And I really have noticed that. The more I don't necessarily paper chase, but purpose chase, I realize that's when things start really coming towards you. So, and yeah, that's really COVID, like I said again, biggest blessing, that thing, that the weirdest biggest blessing I think ever happened to the world. Weirdest biggest blessing. I even from my mom. Like, even from my mom, like my mom was really good working at Nordstrom's, in the cycle though. You know what I mean? In the cycle, making the money. But now she finally is doing like freelance makeup, like going to places, like doing weddings, making quadruple what she was making. I'm like, yeah, mom. Like, so it's like, it's the weirdest biggest blessing.
So with this album, when should we expect it?
Yeah, I want to say you should expect this album January 5th. But to be honest, I'm feeling really eager. So I may get, I actually may put it out before then. But I could say solidly January 5th. I could solidly say that. A lot of it right now is on SoundCloud right now, for real. But they're the raws. I wanted to show people who listen to me and hear my music, like, I wanted to show them the true, what's the word I'm looking for? Not process, but I wanted to show them the true growth of what it is to be an artist. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people out here who know what it means to make a good sound, have a good banger, oh that shit hot. But it's a different thing when you're talking about showing people a deeper side of humanity. Like, showing people that maybe I was wrong. Maybe we were wrong. Like, like, it doesn't have to be, because the one thing, and the one thing I really want to change, that I see in music, is too much blaming, and that blaming is very subliminal to children, to all of us. Like, and like, a lot of times you end up blaming somebody because you like, I heard it in a song. I feel like, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, and then I actually see the responsibility in that. And saying the responsibility in that, I believe that there's a way to show people a deeper side of humanity through real events, but just keep it 100. I'm gonna take my ego out of it. So that's why I make R&B music with no ego. Like, so like, it's, it just always keeps it 100. Like, I would say Bobby and Whitney, like, on my SoundCloud, like, that's probably one of my favorite songs that I wrote. After Bobby and Whitney has to be Dark Side. That's the one I'm making the music video for. That music video, y'all gonna really like. It's gonna be like a noir. It's gonna be like it's gonna be in black and white. I don't want to give too much away, but it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really nice. It's gonna, since I am in LA, I'm like in Jack Nicholson's, Chinatown, one of my favorite movies. I'm like, okay, let me get some noir up in this real quick. Like, so, and so, you know what I mean? I just want to keep it fresh, keep it new, but also giving an ode to the past. Like, in order for me to be a great, I must acknowledge the greats. Like, you know what I mean? It's just out of respect. Like, so, and then I would say after that, my number 3 song is hard for me to say, but it's Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk. I put a lot of work in that song. Pillow Talk. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna shoot you the link so you can definitely see that.
Okay.
So
definitely.
So everybody see that. I got y'all.
We'll have to definitely check it out.
No, most definitely. Most definitely.
All right, man. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate coming. I really do.
And we'll check in with you a little bit later after you drop your album.
No, I got you. When I release it, I'll be the first one to tell y'all.
All right. Thanks a lot.
No doubt.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Sweat drips right from your lips to your hip. Girl, yeah, just chill off the lip. I'm trying to give you all of your legs. With back shots and no hair ties, girl. Damn, no, the stiff brown eyes. Please show me your surprise. And yeah, girl, that's my reprise. You move me, you change me, you take me. Now let's see. You move me, you change me, you took me, yeah. Now let's see. Could you feel the heat when it's at your feet? I give you all of me. Non-bridal chemistry is what I long for. Now we're in the long haul. Can I find that in you? Can you feel the heat? Can you play it for me? No. Feel the flame for me. And I need you to rise for me. Oh yeah, just move to the beat. Unstoppable motion, I feel it in your thighs. A rhythm, yeah, that break on both earth. A love that started, no finish. Oh, I'm colder, girl, 'cause you're so colder, yeah. Can you move for me now? Can you feel that heat when it's at your feet? Oh yeah. Now let's see, and now let's see. Oh yeah, girl, when I give you all of me. Oh yeah, girl, unbridled chemistry is what I long for. You know I want more. Could I find that in you? I pray that that's in you. Now that we're around here in my place, could I ask for your passion on my face? Yeah, just grace me with all of your possession and all your passion. Got me swinging from trees, and all the breeze that I feel got me wanting just me, just to get close right up to you. I know that I need you right next to me, baby. Could I really see? Yeah, can you feel the heat? Can you feel the heat when I come right to you? You know that I want more, and then that you're offering. So let's do it together, 'cause I know we'll hold the weather. And I know that you are even better than what you offer to me. You are more than the I need. I know I should need. And you're my one girl, and you just too fine. And you want my mind. Does it feel the heat when you're next to me? I think that was it.